We have someone who may be coming on in just a little bit, a special surprise. I don't know if they're yet on the schedule, but somebody really, really amazing is brewing, and I can see them on this screen, but you can't see them. All right? So now you get to ask me 20 questions, and I'm going to give you a yes or a no, and you get to guess who it is. No, I'm just kidding. All right, we good? All right. So let me go ahead and take this moment and welcome TikTok viewers. If you're here now, we're glad that you're here joining us virtually. All these beautiful people who are in this room right now, you're getting some claps. If you can't see it, I can see it. All right. So I'm going to be out here all night emceeing and introducing all of our speakers. And the first speaker that we're going to introduce is, and I'm going to pull this out because I want to make sure I get it absolutely right. Not only was he a child actor who starred in the Disney films The Mighty Ducks, D2 The Mighty Ducks, and First Kid, he also ran as an independent candidate in the 2020 United States presidential election. Folks, please put it together. Coming through virtually through the amazing technology that we have here, Mr. Brock Pierce. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow citizens, and ardent advocates for genuine change, thank you for joining the Independent National Convention. We gather here not just as attendees of an event, but as active participants in a burgeoning revolution in American politics. A revolution that has begun but is not done. A revolution that begins with each of us here today and extends to every corner of this nation, where a citizen dares to dream of a government that truly represents the people. We launched the Independent National Convention because we recognized a profound disconnect between the will of the people and the actions of those in power, and that we do not want to live in a world of blue and red, left and right. We do not want to live in a binary country where we only have two choices. The genesis of this convention was born out of that necessity, out of this urgency, and out of a collective yearning for a political sphere that does not merely serve the elite, but every American. In our current political landscape, where only two parties dominate, we've seen an increasing delusionment among the electorate. According to a recent study by Pew Research Center, a staggering 36% of Americans, which is now a majority, identify as independents, outnumbering those who identify strongly with the two major parties. This is a clear call, a clamor for a new path forward. The establishment of a united independent movement is crucial now more than ever, because our current system, dominated by this duopoly, has led to a governance that is out of touch, not just what the citizens need, but with our present reality. This same system perpetuates policies that are overwhelmingly favoring corporations and the very wealthy that control them, with little regard for the average American. In the last decade, we've seen corporate profits soar to an unprecedented height, with Fortune 500 firms reporting profits in the billions, while wages for the middle class have stagnated. The top 1% now owns more wealth than the bottom 90 combined. This disparity is not just a financial issue, it's a profound democratic issue. This is where our movement comes into play. It's time to shift the balance of power back to where it belongs, with the collective, with the all, with the people, with you. I invite you all to embrace the title of independent, to be the free thinkers, to step out of the duality, the binary choice, knowing that there is a big tent that encompasses all the colors of the rainbow. Be proud to identify as someone who stands apart, someone that thinks and says no to entrenched party systems, as George Washington, at his closing address, warned us. Be bold in your commitment to forge a new path. As independents, we must work together more closely than ever to ensure that its voices of American citizens guide our nation, not the agendas of the select few driven by corporate interests. Our commitment must be policies that promote economic fairness, social justice, true democratic engagement. But innovation, the future is ours if we reach for it. if we say yes to it. Imagine a government that innovates rather than stalls, that solves problems rather than creates them. A government that fears the disenfranchised of its people more than the criticism of its pundits. That is the government we can create. That is the government we must demand. But to build this, we must be more than dissatisfaction. We need to take action. We need to rally our families, our friends, our communities to join this cause. Not just the fate of this country and our generations that follow depend upon it, the fate of our world. We need to educate, to campaign, to vote, to realize the incredible gift that's been given to us, to be civic participants, to stand up for what we believe in, not as pure participants in a system, but as the architects of a new one. Together, let us build this bridge where our government is as diverse and as dynamic as the people that serve it. Let us lay the foundation for a political revolution that redefines what it is to be a leader in this country. Join us, commit with us, and together, let us rekindle a true spirit of democracy. Election day is just around the corner. November the 5th. Thank you for showing up. We are at a crossroads. And it's so disappointing to see this is where we're at, knowing what's at stake. Thank you. Let's continue to make history and build a future together worth living in. God bless America.